sir. It's been a great day, though.
Absolutely.
All's well that ends well.
It's time to win the day today, man.
It's time to win the day today, sir. Gotta stay hydrated. Great minds think alike.
You
You
feel
know what
me?
I'm saying? You on the spring?
Man, you know what? I should be on the spring, but I hate
Oh,
the way
oh.
spring water tastes, bro. It's so salty, bro. I just,
Yeah, it's that real gritty, real.
oh God.
I was on an alkaline water, and I was looking at the ingredients on the back, and it was like water, potassium, sodium. I was like, bro, I just want water, bro. Like, give me water. But this just spring water.
The funny thing is I know I don't like the regular taste, so I gotta do as long as I'm drinking water, I gotta lock in.
But it ain't the taste, bro. It's your oil. You just gotta take it
No, for
down.
real, bro.
It ain't about the
For
taste.
real.
Just like
Oh
when I
God,
throw my vitamins in. I throw
you
vitamins in
try
my
to
shit,
tweak out
bro.
on it. You know what? That's how you gotta do that sea moss. That sea moss and what is it? Sea moss and I take this iodine stuff because iodine is a really good source of like brain power, and it like
Straight.
unlocks so it's like a supplement that you can take, like little drops that you can get from like vitamin shops and stuff like that, and iodine increases your brain processes, so
What's
it's
it
just
called?
I can
I need to get some iodine.
I
Take
will
notes, folks.
yeah, facts. This is definitely
Always take notes, folks.
definitely a podcast where you will want to take notes and have a good pen. I got a good pen, man. I tell you, I do everything with this pen, bro. I
Brain
forgot
power
what
is a
it's called,
must.
but as soon as when I go to my car, I'm gonna get it out of my car, and then I'll definitely fill you in on that heat, brother.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, this a good look right here. It's a good picture.
It is, man. Everybody can hear me well. If you can hear me, we got a chat on here. If you can hear me well, put an ear.
Do
If our
you
microphone's good, throw an ear up.
you see the chat?
I don't. I'm looking for the chat. How you feel?
It's a little thing in the top
In the
right.
won't.
Yeah, but when I press it, it did nothing pop up.
Ain't no thing. All right, so look, we about to go ahead and get it cracking in this thing. So
Yes,
I'm about to
sir.
let y'all know. Me and Quan, we came together. I texted Quan a few weeks ago. Oh, I got an ear. We got an ear. They can hear us. So
Hey.
I texted Quan a few weeks ago, right? Because I'm working with my bro Ant. We got a workshop tomorrow. Okay, we working with kids.
Solid.
I'm probably 8 to 16 years old. We got a workshop going. And we're gonna be teaching them the basic foundations of communication, teamwork, and leadership, so they can take the information from those workshops and apply it directly to their life and get some good results. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Beautiful.
man, I'm still doing something with my bro Ant. I'm back in my bag. Helping the community, making a positive impact. They did my bro Quan because, bro, what you do is what I absolutely love. I love football with a passion, bro.
Right.
Like,
Big
ever
fact.
since I was like 3 years old. So everything that you do is I'm just like absolutely infatuated with. Like, I even do it. Like, I see you do it. Every time I see your videos, I just go outside and be like, I gotta work out on some drills. You feel me? Because I'm starting
Yo,
flag
man.
football again for the third season this year in September. Anyway, hit up you like, man, we should probably do something for the young man to give back to him, make a positive impact about
Swear.
financial literacy and leadership. And Quan hit me back like,
Been waiting.
let's
Been
make a
waiting for the
podcast.
opportunity.
And what you tell me, bro?
Man, I'm like, hey, let's get right to it, man. Like this is what we've been on. This is what we've been like. Me and bro met. We met at a coffee shop, man, and we was just chopping it up just about the little details of finance, stock market, life. You know what I'm saying? How to implement the stuff you learn from financial literacy into your everyday life, man. And we just ever since that first day, man, we always just kept in touch with details, man, with pouring into each other, man, and just giving extra love and shedding light on different subjects and opportunities, man, and just watching you and all your content growth that you had over the last couple of years as far as finance is concerned, and teaching the community all about finance, giving back, giving those small intricate details to finance, man, that's what I'm, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm into now. So it's like
Right.
that's my new football. So being able to, you know what I'm saying, lock in with you, bro, and really be able to tap into this new lifestyle that we got going on, man. This new podcast, man, it's gonna be huge.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, we linked up together to teach financial literacy, and it's me. It's Lamar Howard, aka Tank, aka the Knowledge Bank, with my bro.
Hey man, it's No Fear Quan from No Fear Elite.
Yes, sir. And this is our
Our
financial
financial awakening,
awakening,
man. Let's
man.
go.
Let's get it. All right, so Quan, what you got? What you got for today, man? Or should I go first off the history?
Man, so we go, yeah, man. We really could go off the history for real, because actually, really, that's what I was locked into. Is really just understanding where money comes from, where the beginning parts and the beginning processes. I know you got some great history for us, so I'm gonna let you fill us in with the history, and then I'm gonna just throw in just a little bit of details that I have come across about the history, and just as far as how currency and the mindset behind the exchange of currency was even began, because it's really important to understand where the mindset from the exchange even started, so that we can understand what, if we're not understanding money, then we can't really understand why it is we exchange the way we do. And are you a consumer or are you a producer? You know what I'm saying? Do
And
you
that's the most
buy? You know what I'm saying?
that's the most powerful word that you use thus far is exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we are exchanging words. Every day we exchange energy.
Yep.
We exchange our thoughts. And the first thing that money was based around was the bartering system, was exchanging things from one another.
Let's go.
And if Quan was a great maker of hats, and
Yep.
if I was a great maker of t-shirts, what we would do, we would trade with each other.
Exchange.
But what if Quan didn't want no t-shirts? And I'm talking about think back 5,000 years ago, 6,000, 10,000, like think a long time ago when people really wasn't using money because people was using gold and silver 5,000 years ago. But if
Swear.
Quan got hats and if I got shirts and we trade, boom, we smooth. I got some hats now. He got some shirts. That's what we make. You see, when it comes to this exchange, instead of working for money, which we do now today, back then we used to work our craft.
Yeah.
We used to build things.
Yeah.
We used to make things all day. And the things that we took up and built and made, we would sell those things and exchange them.
Yes,
So
sir.
now, what if Quan don't want no t-shirts?
What
All
you
he
got?
want, all he want is pens. And I don't have no pens. How you gonna get pins in this small in this community? Who you gonna link up with? We're talking about a time where there's no communication, there's no cell phones,
Hmm.
there's no internet. So now I'm thinking, huh? Okay, so Quan got these hats that I want, but I only got t-shirts. Now the pen dude, he want t-shirts. So now I'm about to trade my t-shirts with the dude that got pens. You know what? Now I got hella pens. Now I'm about to trade these pens with you because you got the hats. Boom.
Yes, sir.
Now, this can cause a problem because there's not enough people to trade with. So
Yep.
now what we started to create was a market. We think about the market right now
Sir.
as a store,
Yes,
a
sir.
store that you go to that has different brands. But guess what?
Walmart's, Targets.
Think of the market like this now. This is how it was thousands of years ago. The market was an exchange where everybody brought their products to a common place. Think of like a pop up shop where people got their own vendor booths
Easy.
and people
Right
would
at the
just trade.
boutiques.
You feel me? People would just trade goods amongst each other. Now it started to go from people trading those goods amongst each other to where, dang, I can only get certain things within my community. There's no pineapples that grow here in Michigan.
Hmm.
There's no oranges that grow here in Michigan. So if I'm
Yes,
only
sir.
trading with the people in my community, cherries for apples, strawberries for pears.
Mangoes, something.
If I want mangoes and pineapples, what am I going to do? Got to figure out a different way of trade. So this is what people started to do. People started to make. People started to have a common value of things that they thought was valuable, like a shark's tooth or a whale's tooth. So
Yep.
so back in the day, I'm gonna talk about what really happened. Back in the day, people used barley as an exchange of currency. So if I had chickens and if you had cows, and if you didn't want to trade my chickens for your cows, I would use barley or tobacco because that was a common exchange of currency.
Facts.
Everybody would accept that.
Facts.
And you can look through history to where everybody had a common exchange of a currency, whether if it was tobacco, barley, hemp, tulips, or even gold. People started to now have the common belief that gold is a valuable commodity because it is a
Yeah.
precious metal. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what you can use gold for? Anything. Gold and
Anything.
silver. You can make
Energy.
jewelry with it. You feel me? You can make jewelry with it, ornaments with it, anything. So now
Yeah.
people started to exchange instead of trading things. They started to use gold. Now, amongst people, we already had our trading things, right? We're using gold, we're using silver, we're using barley, we're using tobacco. But now the government steps into place and they say, okay, people are using a medium of exchange in order to purchase things from each other.
Yes, sir.
So now they're going to make their own. You see, all the notes are that we use
And when he
when
says
we
he's talking about dollars, your singles, your 20s, your fives, your tens, all that good stuff, your 50s, hundreds, those are all notes.
you feel me, the first form of writing comes from the first form of writing comes from accounting. Because if right now in this season all of my apples have grown and I got 1,000 apples and I usually trade with Quan to get some fish and he hasn't caught all the fish that I need to make the even trade, I'm going to give you all the apples right now up front. But
Big
we
fact.
need to write down and take account of how much I gave you.
Yes,
So
sir.
now you have to you have to issue me a IOU because you owe me 100 fish for my 100 apples. And those fishes aren't ready yet. And now I'm about to take this IOU. And when it's time to get that product that's ready, I'm going to exchange that IOU note to you
I hope y'all
to get
catching
my
on to
fish.
this.
And that's what we do every day. We have a
Man,
lot of IOUs that we use to go get products. Remember that market that I was talking about? You see, everybody at the market. It's a few people that had corn. It's a few people that had barley. It's a few people that had pigs. But people used to make their own brands now. They used to
mhm.
brand it. That's how you branded the cows.
Yes,
Now we
sir.
have brands on the products. You're just exchanging these dollars for the brands. Now fast forward, instead of these notes being exchanged for gold, which they were backed for, instead of these notes being exchanged for something that actually had value, we have now something called a fiat currency. And that fiat currency is the fact that instead of our gold, instead of our paper dollar that we use now today, that used to be backed by gold as early as the 1970s, you can literally take your money,
And get in exchange
your
for gold.
IOUs, and take it to the bank and get an actual solid,
Yep.
tangible, intrinsic product for it.
Gold, to be exact.
It was gold to be exact. But we went off the gold standard. Now we have a fiat currency. And it's just a trustworthy note that we all agree has this value. Now, since we are in this game of using this intrinsic note that have this value, and we must gain more notes in order to get more commodities
Hmm.
to live life.
And man,
We now have to
that's
learn the
that's so
finance.
huge.
We now have to have the financial education to get more notes, to produce products, and to be able to have control and education of
Yep.
this system. So we won't fall victim to it, so we can actually be conquerors of it. And Quan is going to go from there because he was telling me something pretty interesting about what he got today.
Man, you know what? I think what you said was so huge with that, man. Because understanding that true exchange of money is where we start to understand what type of power we have in certain situations, man. Understanding the true power of whatever type of money it is you have, whether it's a dollar bill, five, that in turn shows and explains to the person that you're exchanging with how much they can trust you with a certain amount of things, so if you notice, if you go and you get yourself a TV or something like that, you have to have a certain amount of exchange to get that TV. So certain products you're able to get certain products based on the amount of exchange you have, and that's based on the amount of understanding for money that you have. You know what I'm saying? So I think that history that you gave us is important. Um, I think the main thing that I got when I was just looking over some history stuff, man, is just paying attention to the fact that the metal that, like you were saying, the metal that they were exchanging prior to, that was really just to create tools. It was to create certain things because in those times they did in order to make all types of tools and stuff to create those beautiful kingdoms and everything that they had and all those different places that they were creating with physical force, you had to have the right type of tools to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to be able to do those things. So at first, when the first exchange of coin and the first exchange of metal was created, it was created in terms to get tools. You feel what I'm saying? And after so long, people started saying, hey, that metal that you giving us for tools, we can do more than just we can do more than just create tools with that. And like you
Facts.
said, that's when people started to understand that, oh, now we can attach this to something so that it can hold a value even when it's not around because it's so powerful that it can hold value in different places just by a note.
Yeah, bro, because for real, back in the day, if you had a whole bunch of farm animals, you was the richest dude around. If you had all the cows,
Come
all the
on.
chickens, all the goats, that mean you got all the clothes, you got all the milk, you got all the food. The person back in the day, a long time ago, with the most farm animals, they was the richest in the land. But guess what?
Mm.
How you gonna carry that farm animal from your crib all the way to China to get some tea?
You
You
got to make
can't.
something. You got to use something. You got to make something. So, guess what? We need that metal. We need that exchange, that barter system that you talked about earlier. That's key. Understanding that real barter system. That's where this whole exchange even started from the beginning. So, to understand that, that is where we get our mindset of exchange. Now we can understand the new exchange, which is those notes that you have won't mean anything if you don't attach it to an asset. You feel what I'm saying? So now understanding that the same notes that we use to say, hey, I got gold at the Federal Reserve. This is a note to prove how much gold I have here. So now in terms now you look at it and you're like, okay, when I have a bunch of money, you have yourself a stack of money, and you start thinking about, okay, what can this money do for me? There's only two things you can do with this money. You can either become a consumer or you can attach it to an asset. You feel what I'm saying? So understanding that the reason that we gave you guys a sense of history on money and why money is the way it is, and understanding that, okay, this is how they did this and now this is how they did that. So now you understand, okay, this note was attached to gold. So now if there's no more attachments to the money, what value does it hold? So we have to
Zero.
attach it. So
Oh,
that's
oh,
why
oh, it
now,
hold the value that we think it do.
huh,
It hold the value that we all agree that it does.
you feel what I'm saying, bro? So it's like it's a huge thing. It's a huge understanding because once we get that true understanding, and we begin to understand that we have to attach our notes to a certain asset, then we'll be able to make better moves with our money and take better steps, which is what tonight is going to be about. Is going to be the great steps that you can take towards financial success and financial freedom. Because at the end of the day, as Tank just said, the true richest man was the person with cows, with sheep. Why are that? Because guess what? Those are all assets. Those create
Hmm.
more things. So to you, it's just a cow or a chicken. And this is how we transform our thinking. To a certain person, it's just a cow or a chicken. But to a farmer, this cow or this chicken is giving me 10, 20, 30 years worth of producing of milk, of chicken, of eggs, of certain things are going to create currency for me and create income for me down the road. So to you, it's food and poultry, but to them, to me, to Tank, it's an asset. So
Yep.
now using our $100,000 we got up under our bed, to, you know what I'm saying, to just save in that shoebox. If you could not connect that to an asset, I don't know what it could be. It could be a ATM, and we're gonna get into all of those different ways in which you can generate income and generate passive income.
Mhm.
You'll start to understand that if you start changing the way you connect your money to things and the way you exchange it, then you'll start creating a different type of freedom.
Facts. And going back to the history of money again, if back in the day, if back in the day, or even right now, if right now these were worth money. If I give like, all right, I'll just say it like this: a whole bunch, like a long time ago, whale's teeth were worth money. Whale's teeth, they were used as money. If just like the analogy, if bro had some corn and if I had some apples and bro did not want my apples for his corn, I would give him some whale's teeth because everybody thought whale's teeth were valuable. So guess what people
Mm-hmm.
start to do? They start to collect as many whale's teeth as they can.
Crazy.
You know why? Because that's buying power. So
Mm-hmm.
even right now, marijuana is something that you can grow. That's literally something that you can take seeds, you can find seeds, and you can grow that marijuana and cultivate it, right? And once you have it, guess what you can exchange that actual tangible thing for?
More goods
Currency.
or currency.
You can
More
exchange it
goods
for
or
you can
currency.
trade it if you want to because it's
Mm-hmm.
an actual tangible good
Yep.
which people used to do, or you
Fact.
can exchange it for actual promissory notes. And you
Yes,
just stacking
sir.
up those promissory notes to do what? Like you said, purchase more things that are actual assets. So right now, we're going to talk about assets and liabilities because when it comes to it, we want to first talk about the history of money, which we just broke down. Now we want to talk about financial literacy 101, and the history of money has to do with that. And when it comes to financial literacy 101, and when it comes to get money, the first thing you got to do is get money. Number one.
Facts.
Number
Facts.
one. Whether that's through occupation, whether that's through building something, being an entrepreneur, or creating something, you have to get money in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And you have to realize what an asset is and a liability is.
Mm-hmm.
You see, most people think that assets are liabilities, like when they buy certain clothes. But honestly, too, it's the way that your mind works. If
Yes.
somebody else thinks that
Yes.
something is valuable, then it's an
Yes.
asset.
Yes. Oh man.
If you can go to the store right now and you can go to Goodwill, I'm talking about Goodwill, and you can find a Aerosmith tour t-shirt from 1989, original hard tag, and it say 1989 and real little bitty letters right here. You
Swear.
feel me? Some old head gonna buy that shirt that you just bought for $5 to $10 for $50 or $60.
Facts.
You just bought an asset. And
Facts.
the name of the game in financial literacy, when it comes to assets and liabilities, you have to have more assets than liabilities. That's why the dudes that earn your leisure, shout out to them, they got a shirt
Shout
that
out.
says assets over liabilities.
Liabilities. Big facts.
So, how many things are paying you? How many assets do you have? How many things can you exchange to actually get you some currency? I know me right now, I got about 4 or 5 of these big lighters laying around. And I'm
Swear.
pretty sure that I can sell one of these downtown Detroit when somebody need a lighter for a hot $2 3 if they really need it.
Facts.
I'm pretty sure that I can buy like the water boys do down in Atlanta. Take that promissory note of $5, that note that I owe you, and take it and get a 24 case of this water and sell it for $1 a piece. We
Easy work.
do the math, man.
Yeah. Hey, and with the way the economy is right now, you probably could get $2 for each bottle.
You feel me?
You
And they
probably
gonna
could
pay it.
get
I think
two.
it's normal.
Come on now. Everything is overpriced right now, so you got the ability to oversaturate the market with whatever you want. And I think that's the main thing that I think Tank is trying to get through to you, through to the viewers is, man, you gotta understand the way you think dictates everything. You feel what I'm saying? The way you think about money, the way you approach money, the way you plan for money is the way, you know what I'm saying, is the way money will work for you. Because I can remember looking at so many different things and saying, man, that costs this, that costs this, that costs this. But once I started shifting my mindset and my focus and changing the way I think about money, now everything that I look at, I think about how I can become money. You know, I mean, let's just think about this. We talk about I mean, and this is just something that we just brainstormed while we were talking about the podcast. We got a podcast, we got an LLC. Off the rip, if we have viewers that are interested in what we talk about and what we provide the community with, we can have a product and we can monetize just based off of the fact that we have a reach, that we have an opportunity to reach a market like you just spoke about. Because now with the way the world is put together and with the way life has evolved, now markets are created everywhere and we have access to so many different markets based on the reach that we
Bro,
have on the phone.
it's crazy how though these markets that we talk about, the stock market, this market, the real estate market, it used to be everybody that in the community that live within a, a s- 2 square miles within each other that all made some stuff, just all went to the community circle. Yeah, I got this. I got this. Yeah, I got this. You trying to trade? What's up? Now we got the internet, bro.
Man, this is the crazy part about it. This is the crazy part about understanding money. It's understanding
Supermarket.
the fact that we
This the real supermarket.
no, no, for real though,
This
because
the real
let's really think
supermarket.
about it like this, bro. The only reason that we think that certain parts of the market are so inaccessible is because certain people have, and I'm not going to use names right now because we want to let this podcast roll. But certain markets and certain people have got a hold of things and made you think that things are so inaccessible to where you don't create your own markets. But at the end of the day, man, when I was just shout out to Wall Street Trapper. I'm in his stock marketing course right now, his mentorship program right now, and he talked about the cycle of money that all of these billion-dollar corporations use in the stock market. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm,
And understanding that if their company is worth this, they take whatever, however much of their company that they want to put in the stock market, they break it up into shares and then they sell it to us. They don't care about the share price. The thing is they're going to take what the company is already worth, put it on the market, and make us pay double whatever it is they think that we should be paying them. And then they take that money and they cycle it back in the stock market. So it's like the crazy thing is that we can create these same markets amongst our own budgeting plans and the way we budget things. We talked about, you know what I'm saying, the different types of investing in the stock market and understanding you can invest in certain companies, take the dividends, put it in the S&P 500, and it continues to grow because the S&P 500 is going to be guaranteed to grow anywhere from 6 to 12% a year. So if that's just a simple money cycle that you can take, is just take the dividends from whatever company you're investing in and put it back in the S&P 500, and money that you didn't do anything to get, free money, you put it in an index fund that's going to grow for you, and then you just watch your money grow. So
for
just
oh, can I piggyback?
yes sir.
Just like right now at Genesis Credit Union, this hey, you can take this to the bank and run with it. I swear to God. Right now at Genesis Credit Union, they got a savings account to where they give you 5% on your bread.
You feel what I'm saying?
5. Banks nowadays give 1.5, 0.01. Bro, Genesis Credit Union right now giving you 5% back on all your
I
money,
give you
bro.
exactly what I'll give you exactly
Up
what the
until like a
bank is
hundred
giving you.
thousand or something like that.
The
So
bank is
you
giving you
can
0.06 on every dollar.
say it again.
0.06. So technically, whatever money you're putting in the bank, you're losing it. It's going down. It's depreciating.
Versus this savings account at Genesis Credit Union. There's one on Belleville Road in Belleville, Michigan. Bro, you can get a savings account to where they give you 5% on your money at the end of the year. And what Quan is telling you, you can take that 5% that they give you from that money and put it directly into the S&P 500 and keep that rolling. And
Swish.
just
That's
keep
your
on doing
first
that.
money
And
cycle.
everybody wanna make a hit song and make a couple $1,000,000. You
Man,
can do that, that's smooth. But guess
man.
what? Even the people that make a hit song and make a couple $1,000,000, they still trying to figure out ways to do this because all they do is spend money.
Exactly. And I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, when it comes to money, the most important part is understanding that if you're not putting your funds into something that's allowing the money to grow, that's allowing the money to create equity. That's what your money gets in the stock market. Your money gets equity in the stock market. So understanding that if I put my money into something that creates equity for me, then I'm gonna always be making money with my money. So a lot of people that put their money into the bank, but let's say you get all your money. Let's say you get all your money. Let's say you make $5,000 a month, and let's say you save all your money in a checking account. Then guess what? That money is just sitting in there to be spent. It's not making any money for you. It's not developing for you. You're not putting yourself in any type of place to be able to create money. So the only thing that you can do with that money is be a consumer. You can't be a producer. Producer
Mm-hmm.
means to go forward, to go up, to be in charge. You know what I'm saying? To take
Mm-hmm.
lead. So if you're not putting your money in a producer state, then you're losing money. There's only two places you can go: up, down.
And it's
Ain't no
our upbringing
between.
too, bro. Like I still battle today. Every day I'm changing my paradigm. You know what your
Yes,
paradigm is the way that your mind is set. I'm
yes,
daily changing my paradigm because I'm steadily making decisions with money the way that I seen my mom and dad made them, and
absolutely.
having their mindset about money. And I can have thousands of dollars saved, and I'll be like, you know what? I ain't spending nothing on
I ain't
nothing, and
touching
none I
nothing.
ain't touching nothing. And guess what I'm saving for? I'm saving it to spend it on something.
That's That's the crazy part about it. People say save, 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 save. But if you're not investing, then you're literally making you can literally have $1 million in the bank. But if you're not investing it, then you're just saving it to spend. You're just saving it for the exchange. The exchange that the barter that we just talked about. The barter that we just talked about 20 minutes ago.
Yep.
Understanding that if you're not connecting it to an asset, if you're not throwing it on the stock, if you're not throwing it in real estate is another really good asset that you can have to put your money in. Shout out to Jamal King. He always talks about putting your money in the bricks,
Yes,
making
sir. Nine to
sure
five millionaire.
9 to 5 millionaire. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do with this podcast. We want to take the everyday person, the person that works a job, the person that's got kids at home, the person that's got to pay 300 for their son to play football, and you don't have all the money in the world, but you make enough to put up aside, I want to say 40% of your wage, and go ahead and put it in a money cycle. Put it in a
Mhm.
cycle that can start to clean up your finances and change the way you think about money. So by the time you get a hold of an LLC, you get a hold of a product, you get a hold of a market, you can create the same money cycles just with your business. How many businesses are failing because every dollar they make, they don't throw it on an asset? I
And
just
how many people are failing because every dollar that they make, they don't properly budget it and put it
mm-hmm,
to the proper places like you was talking to me about. You was talking to me about every single dollar that come in, you know where every single dollar is going. It ain't no,
absolutely,
oh, I got this extra money for this. No, you know what to do with all that money. So when
absolutely,
it comes to people, why aren't people successful with their money? Because they just got money, they spend it on their bills, and they're like, okay, I got 500 left. What can I do with this money? Versus a business, what does a business do? Real businesses, they allocate every single
yeah.
dollar to something.
As a matter of fact, someone's paid. There's a
Everything
special
has a
person
place.
paid for that.
Wow. Yeah, the controllers
Or an accountant,
or
just a
the
regular
accountant.
an accountant. You pay. As a matter of fact, guys, I have a financial advisor. I've paid my financial advisor to look at my funds, to see what I'm spending my money on, what I can cut back on, where are the liabilities within my spending patterns, so I can take the liabilities from my spending patterns and put them into my money cycles, so I
I
can
know what
focus.
I'm spending my money on. I'm gonna just stop doing this. I ain't even gonna write it down. I know what I'm spending my money on. I ain't gotta
How
do all
many
that.
times have we said that as people? We think that we know it in our head, and at the end of the day, what is something? Let's just think about this right now. If if you come to me and Tank right now, or let's say anybody, let's say I walk in the bank and let's say I tell Chase, hey, I got a business, and they say, okay, cool. Where's your LLC? Where's your paperwork for your LLC? And where's your EIN number so that we can get you an account? And I say, oh, no, 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 no. My business is here. They're gonna be
Right.
like, what do you how can we give you an account? How can we help you? How can we create more opportunities for you to create more funds within your company if you don't write down, if you don't get on paperwork, if you don't invest in the time in the process to turn your idea, the thing that you want to do, and put it on paper. So it's the same thing with our finances. It's the same thing with budget, which kind of takes us into our next segment of it, which is the becoming financially free. Because we just got you guys hip onto what histories we use within our what history we come from, so that we can understand money. Now I'm just gonna break down just a few things. I'm gonna go over a few steps that I came up with over studies, and just locking in on the details of, what does it take to get in control of my finances? What should I do in order to get in control of my finances? So step number one. Okay, and we can title this, guys. You could grab your pen, grab your paper. The first thing you should title is becoming financially free. Okay, because at the end of the day, that's the mindset. That's the whole reason for this podcast. We want to become financially free. So the first thing that we're going with step one is set goals. Okay, and with these set goals, the reason we're setting goals, we're not just going off a high and mighty high horse of, oh, I got a goal, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be. No, we're not talking about those type of goals. We're talking about solid, precise life goals. And with those life goals, we need to have short-term and long-term goals. Okay, we need to know, as for the short term, for my life, what do I want to be? What type of success do I have? I want to have. If you're in a tough situation, if you just want to get your first place and you want to get your first car, because guess what, your first car is going to create a lot of credit for your credit report, and it's going to allow you to be able to start showing that you can pay bills and you can do things on time, so that you can start creating that relationship with the banks and with these loan companies and with these lender companies, so that they know that you're serious about what it is you're trying to do. And then we're going to make short-term goals and long-term goals for our financial goals. You know what I'm saying? Where do you want to be in the next 3 years? Where do you want to be in the next 2 years? What do you want to do by the end of this year? What do you want to have set up? You feel
Where
what
you
I'm
want
saying?
to be next week, bro? We want
Where
to
do
be
you want to be
tomorrow.
next week? Literally though, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to?
Where you
Do
want to
you
be
want to?
tomorrow?
Do you want to wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm gonna wake up at 6 o'clock, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna think about the things that's gonna take me to the next level, and I'm gonna change my habits. And then the next thing that we have is understanding your finances. You know what I'm saying? Understanding your finances. So I got get started by identifying and writing down all your income, your savings, and your debts. Okay. So with understanding how much income you got coming in, understand how much you got saved, and understanding how much debt, your debt to income ratio. You know what I'm saying? Creating a debt to income ratio, meaning how much do you make and how much debt do you have. That number in between is going to let you know how much you have to work with in order to do everything you need to do. So that's very important, guys. Understanding your
Before
finances.
you go to your next step, let me build on that, because
Yes.
anytime that I have not paid attention to my income, paid attention to what I have saved and my debt, anytime when I never paid attention to my finances, I have not had good financial
They
success.
sucked.
You
I
feel
know
me?
mine did.
So when it's literally, you can't manage what you can't measure. You got to pay attention to things. It's kind of like a game. It's like keeping score. And when you
Absolutely.
keep score yeah, when I haven't did what he's saying, shit hasn't been good. So do what he's saying.
Hey, no, no, seriously though, bro. Because I mean, just really getting in the habit of just be getting aware of those things is the first step towards getting in control of your finances. You know what I'm saying? Man, I think, and with some of those savings, it's like, when we say savings, we mean not just saving in the bank, not just saving in your checking account. We're talking Roth IRAs. We're talking about really start get, even if you have to pay for just one session. You know what I'm saying? Just to understand what kind of ideas can I create, or what kind of things can I do? What can I invest in? Because you can't do what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of times we think we know stuff, man. That's why I stay trying to learn something. That's why I linked up with Tank. Why I link up with Tank? Because I'm gonna learn from Tank. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not, man. When we're talking, when we meet up, we got we got pens and pen. Like, that's how much we respect the information. That's how much we come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how much we respect the information that we're giving each other. And this is every time we talk. This isn't just on the podcast. This isn't just for a show type of thing. We respect the energy that we create for each other. So, going and searching and looking for someone that can give you some extra insight, especially if you don't have, if you didn't come from learning from people with good habits with money. I grew up being afraid of credit, being afraid of credit cards, being afraid of putting stuff in my name, being afraid of the stock market. As a matter of fact, I thought the stock market was like for dorks or lames. But this is the crazy thing. Like the real people, like the real cool people, are the people who understand money. And the only way you can be in the stock market is if you understand money, because that means you know what's going on in the world. I mean, let's think about it this way. Let's think about it this way. And this is a question that we got for later, but I want you guys to just ponder on this. How do you think Ukraine is affecting America's economy? So let's think about that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and we'll talk about that later. We'll get on some of those. We'll get on some of that topic later. We might just brush on it a little bit, but understanding like, oh damn, what goes around and what's happening around me is, dictating the way our finances and our economy in America is funneling. We could go over to America, and when I play ball, because I play pro ball overseas, I would go overseas, take my American money, put it in the system over there, put it in their currency over there, because our currency was like quadruple what their currency is worth, put it in their currency, let it grow, and then I would take it back out in USD once it grew. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, based on what's going on in the world, the amount of the currency will go up and down. So when y'all hear crypto, we'll start teaching y'all about crypto in a little bit. When we start talking about crypto, that stuff is based on how, you know what I'm saying, how the money goes up and down based on what's happening in the world. A lot of
Yep, and
a lot of
forex,
money
foreign
be,
exchange.
yeah, like a lot of money be off just based on the fact that, guess what? A lot of countries, their natural resources are so low or high that dictates how much the money is. Because if my natural resources are low in this, then I gotta charge more, because what? I don't have a lot available. Why do you think Bitcoin costs so much? Because there's
Hmm.
only 288 million coins. So with only 288 million coins, you have to have a lot of money to own one coin.
That's facts, and that's what people need to understand as well, is that the fact that everything, just like you said, affects the other thing.
Yes.
And the people that make a lot of money when it comes to investing in things, yeah, some people get lucky, but you don't get lucky in this thing. You study and you make
That's why.
calculated risk.
Yep.
The people that make a lot of money when they betting on these sports, they not betting for real, bro. They're making calculated risk.
Hmm.
And when you read and when you do research and when you pay attention to how markets, back to the market word, when you pay attention to how markets are working and how people are exchanging within that market, you can take advantage of those exchanges that are happening.
Yes, sir.
Just like back in the day when they first struck gold in San Francisco
Yep.
in 1947. You
Hmm.
got the 49ers oh no, in 1847. You got
Yep.
the 49ers because of that gold rush in 1849, but it really popped off in 47. So it's like, dude, everybody, they was going out to California, they was going out to San Francisco so they could mine for gold, right? So they could find gold and become millionaires instantly
Hmm.
from finding that gold. But it was some people that's like, hey, these people out here getting gold, right? Looking for gold. Maybe I should just have that pick, hammers, and axes and the tools that they need.
To
People
really
made
find what
more
we need.
money selling the tools to the people that was trying to find the gold than the
Come on.
people that was actually out there looking for gold.
So understanding the fact that once you see what's going on in the market, you can create a business, or you can create something based on the need, utilizing need to create and generate more funds, instead of me going and trying to fight. And because let's be real, that everybody who was going to get gold was not getting gold, right? So the people who weren't getting gold, imagine if they took the time that they spent trying to get the gold and trying to dig for that gold, if they just spent the time to maybe create some tools or create something that makes other people buy whatever it takes to get that gold. So now I don't have to worry about the gold anymore. I'm not even focused on the gold no more. I'm just focused on the service that I'm going to provide that's going to help them get the gold. And I don't even have to go kill myself. So that's, if we start understanding Fortune 500 companies, then we should start understanding that Fortune 500 companies solve a problem, and they don't even focus on the problem necessarily. They more focus on what they're creating to help you solve the problem.
Facts, which is what Levi did. Levi created those jeans during the gold rush because people clothes was getting ripped up and they couldn't carry the tools. So Levi made those Levi jeans so you can carry your tools in.
And then he bought the gold after because he generated so much revenue, he didn't even have to goddamn go digging. He could just pay for it. So
You
now
feel
he's
me? So
exchanging those little notes that we talked about for that gold, and now he's really getting true value out of his money.
now getting the gold from San Francisco, what was that? That was communication and information that went across the nation for people to go to California in order to mine for that gold. Now, what's the communication and information that we're getting nowadays? The health is wealth.
Mm,
So since health is wealth nowadays, what am I seeing a lot of? Juice bars.
easy.
People that are selling raw juices,
Yeah.
apples, pears, celery, beets. Why? Because it's healthy for us.
Or
And
just
that's the
natural in
info.
general, man. We got so many people selling shea butters and all these different things that kind of connect people to the more natural way of lifestyles. Because at this point in time, we're starting to realize that the reason that everybody's life expectancy has been getting cut down so much is because we use so many processed and so many fake things instead of actually using real, true, natural things. So, like bro said, really locking in on, you know what I'm saying, some of the things that are connecting people to who it is they're really trying to be is really important. Now, at step three, we got clean up your finances. Clean up your finances. And one of some of the main things that I figured out over this research is build an emergency fund. Okay, and that emergency fund can be like something small, like $1,000. But what you want to do is you want to create an emergency fund so that if something happens, I don't have to dip into my assets. I don't have to dip into my active income that generates my money cycle. I don't have to dip into different slots that take away from what my overall goal is, which is to generate that money cycle. Because, like we talked about, once you start creating the consistent money cycles, that's how you create passive income without owning a business. You don't have to own a
Mhm.
business to generate wealth and become wealthy. You just have to understand how to make your money work for you. Okay, so building that emergency fund, paying off your debt. Okay, because that's key. The way you pay off your debt, that shows these banks, that shows that you can be trusted with lines of credit. It shows that you can be trusted with what you do with your money. Because if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you don't pay on your debt and you don't make sure that you clean up your debt, then they know that when they start giving these loans to you, and when they start, you may go and just spend the money on whatever, and then they can't trust you to bring that money back and create that consistent relationship that banks are looking for. Banks aren't looking for they're not looking for a one day, a one day guy. They're looking for somebody that's going to continue to come back and bring business and create more revenue. Because at the end of the day, the banks just need your money to do what they want to do. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So understanding your true importance and understanding the true strength that you hold in these relationships with banks is important too. You hold the true strength. You know what I'm saying? You hold the true strength. You have the money that they need to connect your money to assets, because all they're doing is taking your money and connecting to assets. They're trading your money in the stock market. They're giving loans. They're getting all types of different promises from different companies because they're giving this and giving that. And people are like, here, we'll give you $16 billion because $16 million because you're giving these guys this, and this. You know what I'm saying? They're applying for all these loans. They're getting all of this different opportunity. They're just creating money cycles. You know, they
Facts.
just create money cycles.
One thing that I learned too, that really turned my knowledge up when it comes to credit. I still don't got a credit card. I'm about to get a credit card. I'm about to get a credit card. Still don't have a
Mm-hmm.
credit card. But I was always thrown off on that credit stuff, right?
Uh huh.
Until I learned that what credit is a bank giving you $5,000 on the credit card or $5,000 loan, but you don't need it.
Swear it is. Swear it is. They want to know so bad that you don't need this money. Like,
Bro,
wait a
when I
minute, you're gonna
learned
make me fill out all this paperwork. Look, they want you to fill it out slow and be patient. They like, look, don't rush us because you don't need it, right? No,
because
yes,
when
I
you
need it.
because
Give
when
me
you
my
look
money.
at when you look at it, your credit rating is majorly based off your credit utilization. And your
Yes,
credit utilization, they tell you that it should be 30% or under, but it really should be 10%, but it
facts,
really should be 1%.
facts.
My first credit card, messing with like Fifth Third or whatever, they want you to go like they want you to go and put it down on the unsecured credit card, which means they want me to take my money, put $500 down,
Yep.
and start to use that. But my key is when I got that, I'm not gonna use that $500 on that credit card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna buy a bag of chips every month just to say that I used it and build my
Literally,
credit.
literally,
That's it. And guess
literally.
what? For only buying a bag of chips per month with that $500 credit line
They'll
and
stack
building
some
my
more.
credit and paying that up and paying that, they're going to give me a bigger line of credit now.
Man.
And guess what they want you to do? Barely use it
Hey,
so
that's
they
the
can give
crazy.
you more money.
That's crazy. And we'll
They
definitely be
just
filling
want to
y'all
know.
in on those net 30 accounts and those different accounts that you can create within the banking systems to create different types of credit. You know what I'm saying? The net 30s for your business account, which is, you know what I'm saying? Let's say from my office I need, a pack of pens. I put it on my net 30 and I pay over that for the next 30 days and it begins to build my credit. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
just little things like that. But like he was saying, man, like just understanding that, man, if you understand, the way these companies think, the way these banks think, the way, people exchange, the way the mindset behind the exchanges, you'll be just fine. So yeah, with that, clean up your finances. Having that emergency fund, you know what I'm saying, for cars, bank mishaps. I had a situation with a bank where, they really messed up my money, shut my account down, and shut me
Mm.
down, and I was out money. You know what I'm saying? So, any type of mishaps you may have, you need some money set aside so that you don't have to go into your into your money cycles and all that. The next thing is start saving. Start saving. Step 4 is start saving. And of course, as you know, because we talked about saving and what, the importance of saving, um, the first thing I got is pay yourself first. And this is, oh man, it's the hardest thing to teach because, man, with the way the world is today and all these different things we got to pay for, you got your Netflix, you got your car note, you got your rent, you got your whatever the case may be, whatever, if your kid go to private school, you got to pay for private school, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? But you got so many different things to do that the last thing you got on your mind is pay yourself first. But guess what? If I always make sure, like for instance, we talked about this, and this is another game right here. This is another piece of sauce. If you think about it, and you are consistent at putting $400 in the S&P 500 for the next 30 years. For the next 30 years, you put 400 in S&P 500, and that cycle is
How frequently?
every month. So you're talking once a month, $400. You're talking anywhere from where the market is right now, anywhere from probably about like 600 to $700,000, and that's off an investment of, I think that was about, from here to the next 30. That's about $144,000 invested over the next 30 years, and you're talking about pretty much quadrupling that to somewhere around 6 to 800,000. So
Over 30 years. I'm
over
gonna be 60, bro. I ain't trying to ball out when I'm 60.
this the crazy part though, because by the time, and this that's what we love, because the average person is like, wait a minute, damn, I ain't gonna be
I ain't
able to
trying to
spend none
use
of
the
that
money
money.
when I'm 60. I'm trying to ball out right now,
I
bro.
ain't even gonna be sweet by the time I'm 60. Wow, wait, nigga, I'm so well, but at the end of the
Meanwhile, people
day,
dying later and later. People dying
man,
older and older.
for real. But the crazy thing about it is once we realize that by the
I can't hear you no more. Dang. Oh, no, I can't hear you. But just as we were saying, you have to invest. Well, you gotta save. So first off, let's go over Juan's. What does it take to get in control of my finances? Number one, set goals. You got to set short term goals and long-term goals. You got to set a weekly goal, a monthly goal for your finances, a 90-day goal for your finances. Hey, you even got to set a yearly goal and have a 5-year plan. Now, is the sound off on my end too? Somebody, all right, put Quan back in. Sorry, we got questions in the chat, but I don't see nothing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
snap. We do got questions in the chat. All right. How
yep,
come the
yep, yep.
black dollar doesn't stay in the black economy as long as it does in other cultures? You know why?
Because it's not, because there's not this many conversations about stuff like this. Like this is literally like this is why me and Tank took advantage of this
Oh, can y'all
opportunity.
hear us now? Somebody said no. Can y'all hear us? Just want to make sure.
Yep, yep, yep.
If you can hear us, drop an ear.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that, y'all. A little technical difficulties. Um, but yeah, man.
If you can hear us, drop an ear so we can drop the value on this black dollar. Honestly, I'm thinking too, like growing up, in our community where we grew up, oh, y'all can hear us. All right, bet.
Yeah, yep.
So, where we grow up, we go to I grew up in Detroit, and I live in Belleville, but most places that I go to, whether if it's restaurants or liquor stores or gas stations or clothing stores or restaurants, they all owned by people that don't look like me.
Swear.
Nowadays, we're owning more stuff, you know what I'm saying? But more so, you know, the chicken spots that I frequent growing up, the gas stations, the beauty supplies, or every place is owned by someone else that don't look like us. We get
Hmm.
cars from people that don't look like us. So it's what else? Why else doesn't the black dollar stay in the community?
It's
Sometimes we don't value each other's products.
hmm hmm
Oh, bro, costing too much. If Quan got a shirt right now and it's a crispy designer shirt that Quan made and it's $100, people not going people rather not spend $100 on
who
a
he
Quan
think
shirt.
he is. Who he
Yeah.
think he is. Why he charging that much? When meanwhile, the funny part is that you really penalize us as business owners because we go and we find literally the same exact manufacturers that these high level companies that y'all buy from go to, and we literally just get it for the same prices probably that they get it for, if not cheaper, because we may have found somebody who's trying to undercut a certain guy, and we might have caught somebody who may be making quality that's let's say product quality, you know what I'm saying, but he's charging $10 to make it because he's trying to undercut somebody who's creating product, so it's really just understanding, and like we were just saying, like just understanding the money process, like understanding that if, like you said, if Tank has some money, if Tank has a product and I buy his product from him, then in turn he's gonna buy my product from me. So if I sell Q-tips and he sell toothpaste, every month we need Q-tips and toothpaste. Now every month that we go to each other and we exchange money for product, we're creating the money cycles to where we're always helping our money grow because we're creating a market with each other. But y'all, you got to
But
be
we
able to
only feel
create
like
the market.
we only feel like that we can get Q-tips from Walmart and Dollar
Hmm.
Tree. I only get my Q-tips from Dollar Tree. But what if you
Hmm.
made Q-tips, bro? What
Hmm.
if what if
It, it,
Blue River? What if River Blue? River Blue, what if you made Q-tips?
man,
What if you
man,
find a way to make your own Q-tips
and it's the crazy part. This is the crazy
and
part about
sell them,
this.
bro? Who black making Q-tips?
Because I was that's the crazy part about it, bro. I go to this meeting a lot of times, called the Gems meeting. It's a organization that teaches everybody in the community how to be a supplier for Walmart, Menards, Target, and all type of stuff. So
Wow.
understanding what I've been learning over the last couple of years is Walmart, Myers, Target, Menards, all of them have billions of dollars set aside a year just for black business owners. So if you get a product like a toothpick, if you get a product like a toilet paper, because they said they all want everyday products, you literally, if you go into these businesses and you say, hey, I've got a product. I want to be a producer in this community. I have a business plan. I got a product. I have, you know, my SKU number. I have everything that I need in order to present a product to you that you can sell in your store. Now, like you said, if you feel like you can only go to Walmart, guys, we can figure out the ways to get into Walmart and the Menards and trade those systems. But now what Jim's is doing, and that's Arthur Cartwright. He runs Jim's. He's creating pretty much a overall, pretty much almost like a barter system where you can
Hmm.
go and where you can go, yes, and the Q-tips will be made out of, hey, and on what do you call it, on Alibaba, they're literally, or that's all they're trying to sell on there is bamboo and all of that. They're not trying to sell regular stuff. They're trying to sell that bamboo and all of that stuff on what do you call it right now? So Alibaba or
Hmm.
AliExpress. So that's definitely a lock in right there. You
And
definitely
that's
on to something. I can tell
exclusive
you've
right
been on
there. You know,
Alibaba.
who got Q-tips like that? You feel me? We can market it the right way, everything,
Come
package
on
it the
now.
right way,
Come
and
on
it's
now.
on.
But the opportunity is available. But yeah, man, that's how we really that's how we create the black dollar. We as a people have to start thinking about money differently. And that's, like
And
I
look at
said,
the
that's why we
examples
did
too.
this. Yeah.
Look at the examples too. If you live in Detroit, bro, Dearborn is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And my Arab Habibi brother and his sister, and they've been making moves, and they in Detroit now. And
Yep.
guess what they do? People move here with their family, and they come from wherever, Iran, Jordan, wherever. And guess what they do when they touch down? They get them a job. And
Yep.
after they get them a job and start working, they set them a goal. And
Yep.
after they set them a goal, they understand their income and their finances, and they
Yep.
understand what they got saved, and they understand how much debt they got. Then after they do that, they create an emergency fund.
Come
So
on
just
now.
in case something go down, they can pay for it real quick. And then they start saving their money and paying themselves. And guess what they do after that? They go
Mhm.
to school and become a doctor. They go to school and become a dentist. They go to get some certifications and get a mechanic shop.
Yep.
They open up a restaurant. They open up a, a clothing store. They open up all these different type of businesses. And guess what they do? Shop amongst each other because they all did what they needed to do to put
Easy.
themselves in place to be owners by following these four steps that Klein gave us here. And that's what it's all about. You don't have to, off the bat, be an entrepreneur. If you're not at the crib right now making 1,000 of these, bro, then go get you a job or make you something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not making 1,000 of these and going to sell them, you gotta work.
Yep. You got
So
some work to
once
do.
you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Once you work and you stack your cheese and you follow the right plan, which we
Then
will
we can
give
run
you that
business.
over time, we will direct you to different people that will give you that. Then entrepreneurship. You can be an entrepreneur right now with nothing. It's okay. You can
Yep.
go to Dollar Tree and spend $1.25 on something and flip it for $3.
Seriously. Create
There's
a store
nothing
on
against the law
Amazon.
with doing that.
Create a store on Amazon and just take the toilet paper from the dollar store for $1.25 and put it on there literally every day. You could literally buy, even if you wanted to sell packs of 10, you could sell packs of 10 toilet paper. You could go in there and get 10 packs of toilet paper and sell it off for $10 or whatever the case, or sell it off for $15, but you really spent, you know what I'm saying, $10 for it. Now, of course, that's only a $5 profit, but by the time you've sold a 10 pack of toilet paper for $10, you know what I'm saying? You, or really a 10 pack of a 4 pack, because the four, it's really a 4 pack. It's four things that toilet paper in each thing.
Hmm.
So you're really selling a pack of four, 10 times four, you're selling 40 rolls of toilet paper for $10 and you're gonna get 15 back for it. But because people are getting so much and they're gonna get a surplus, they're gonna continue to create to invest in that cycle for you.
On the internet because you're taking your notes and you taking them to Dollar Tree and you're getting a product that's a
Mm-hmm.
brand. And guess what you're doing? You're selling that brand in exchange for something and you're taking it to the marketplace. You just went to one market and you got it for the low and you put it on a different market and you're getting it for a whole different price. And what is that different market? You don't got to walk around and say, hey, bro, I got this tissue on deck. It's the internet. Use the internet to your advantage.
It's your market. You can create it. You can create your own market with the internet. You don't have to follow, and especially and this is we can't even do this. We can't even act a fool on here. But when we start talking to y'all about Web3, and shout out 19 Keys, I learned so much from 19 Keys when you talk about Web3 and
We got a
throwing
baby spoon.
throwing NFTs and everything on there, and having a product that you put on the Web3, and now that product, I sell it to Tank for $10, and then Tank sells it, but I get money and I get a percentage from Tank selling it to somebody else for $10. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to, before we get any further with anything else, I want to give y'all the last two steps, just so y'all can have these. I won't go crazy in depth because we have really turned up tonight, but I definitely
We
want to
have
get y'all
really
these.
turned up.
Yeah, I really want to get y'all these last two steps. So keep in mind that step four with starting your savings. Those are for things like I said, school for your kids at college, retirement fund, your vacations, and your experiences. It allows you to be able to experience things. The more you save to grow, the more experience you can have. You know what I'm saying? So just that. But with step five, we got invest and create an additional income streams. So once you created an opportunity to where now I've got a good foundational base. I understand my finances, right? So now I know that I'm spending, 50% of my bills, and I'm spending 10 or 20% on paying myself. And then maybe that last percentage, I'm going to put that on my passive income. So now that's where we start talking about, your S&P 500s, or your or just trading in general. You may get on the stock market, and you may want to trade. You may, like I said, you may do real estate. You could put your money into any asset, but now the mindset is to create additional streams of income. But the key with that is creating additional streams of income that are passive, because if you can make money without being there, and you can make money efficiently without being there, then you can be more effective. Okay, so having this plan, making sure that your plan is locked in, making sure that you've got your product, you've got your LLC or whatever it is you want. You may want to get a corporation, you may want to make it a nonprofit, whatever it is that you want to run, that you want to start. Just making sure that you've done that is key, man. So yeah, so we want to invest and create additional streams of income. Diversifying your income allows you to spread out the risk. Diversifying your income allows you to spread out the risk. So now, if I've diversified the way in which I make money, now if my active income, which is, let's say you work corporate, let's say you work for a job, let's say you get fired, let's say you focusing so much on your business, and you focus so much on locking in on getting more passive streams of income. Let's say you get fired. Now, when you get fired, because you've got three or four, because I just seen a question about streams of income, now that you have different streams of income, now I still can stay afloat even though I've lost a certain stream. So diversifying your income allows
Yeah.
you to still remain functionable within this world, because something is stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you have an asset. Let's say you do vending machines. You know what I'm saying? And let's say one of your sites breaks down. Let's say you got two. Let's say you got a vending machine and a Coke machine, or whatever the case may be. Let's say that breaks down. Now, because I got ATMs in every bar in Detroit, or every bar in Romulus, or every ATM, I got an ATM in at least three or four different gas stations. Now I can still get some recurring revenue coming through, even though
Yeah.
certain streams have shut down for me. So having
Right.
is me. So when we talked about acquiring assets, and I always, when I wake up in the morning, I say I'm asset focused. Okay, because everything that I want to think about being asset focused. How can I acquire as many assets as possible that are connected to growth and equity, so that when it's time for something to screw up, because something will screw up, I've created enough equity to where I have cushion. If I have money in Apple and or Tesla, because anybody who knows me knows I'm infatuated with Tesla, the growth of Tesla, the product of Tesla, the cars. Shout out Elon Musk. I don't even know if you like black folks, but at the end of the day, I love the way he does business, and I love the way he thinks and the way his mind innovates. And I think it's key that you pay attention to those type of companies, because guess what? If I invest in Tesla, and they grow and they grow and they grow, let's say the share right now, I believe a share in Tesla right now is somewhere around $300 something. Now, within the next 10 years, a share of Tesla is probably going to go up to $1,000 or whatever the case may be within its next 10 years. And of course, he'll have another split like he did, because anybody who really pays attention to the stock market knows at some point in time, Tesla was what, $1,000 something. But after
Yep.
the split, it went back down, and it allowed us to be able to invest in Tesla without feeling like we were getting ready to not be able to pay our rent. Okay.
Yep.
So understanding that if I have money and I get equity within the growth of his company, now guess what? I can take that growth from that equity and I have cushion for whatever I need in my life. So let's say you can take that equity that you made from Tesla and put it back, like I said, in a money cycle and put it in the S&P 500, or you can take the equity from Tesla and you can put it into different streams. So now maybe with the equity, let's say I had 30 shares of Tesla, and then I took the equity from each share of Tesla, and then I put all of that money right there and I put it into investing in another business. So now
It's
I'm
just like
utilizing.
I'm about to say. It's just like when Antonio Brown, ex-football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Patriots, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, started rapping before he quit football. But guess what he was doing? He was building the asset and he was building equity in the in the brain of others. So
Easy.
guess what? When he didn't want to go into the game and he walked off the field and he quit in the middle of the game, what can he fall back on?
He
The
wasn't
asset
crying.
in
He
the
wasn't
rapper career
crying.
because he
So
had another source of income. He wasn't tripping on that money because he was building other money. And most
and he
people like,
was
oh my
rapping
God, he don't
like you
play
said,
football no
he
more. He
was
ain't gonna
rapping
have no
before he
money no
quit.
more.
And that's and the funny thing about it is, man, and that's why I'm so passionate
You
about
gotta be
about
rapping before you quit. You gotta still get your
you
cheese
feel
in you in
me?
your current occupation. So
Come on.
when you're ready, you can just bounce like AB. You know what I'm saying?
So we can't be waiting. We can't wait until it's over. And I think that's the main answer to that question that you asked earlier about the cycle and the black dollar. We can't wait till it's over. We can't wait till it looks like there's no other options to start wanting to create these markets and these partnerships with these different companies and with each other, because that's really
And
what,
with each other.
yeah, with each other, man, because that's what it is. So like you were just saying, man, like we don't have to be panicking and losing our minds if we don't have that job anymore, because we've already put together these assets and we've already paid attention to our finances to where we know exactly what we have to do if we want to create and generate more revenue. So maybe instead of panicking, instead of saying, oh man, I don't have my job, now I can just say, oh man, I'll just take the dividends that I invested in my S&P 500. I borrow from that S&P 500 and take that and put it into another site of into another two or three sites of vending machines, because vending machines only cost $800 to $1,200. You take some money from your shares in Tesla and you put that into some more, and you just create more revenue. And then that
Hmm.
last step, invest in self, and this is key. Um, the reason this is key, man, is because before you can even think about the money part, you have to lock into the me part. Like we talked about earlier. Who did I learn from? Did my parents express positive thoughts about money around me? Did they express thoughts of abundance about money around me? Or was it always fear when we talked about money? Was it always scarcity when we talked about money? Because 9 times out of 10, if you were raised in a household where money is thought about as scarcity, then you're not going to ever think about growing funds. So the first thing that you have to do is invest in yourself and invest in your mind. So, like for me, man, I know I grew up in, like I said, that scarcity mindset as far as money is concerned. So I had to start listening to affirmations about wealth and about myself and understanding what I could do and who I had to become in order to be a producer. Who do you have to become a producer? Because at the end of the day, if you could just do it with who you are now, you will be there already. But you're not there.
True.
And it's okay not to be there, but it's not okay to recognize what's going on so that you can switch it up and that you can implement what details need to be implemented. So just a few things that I got for you guys to lock into while we're talking about investing in self is your exercise. You know what I'm saying? Just taking 5 to 10 minutes out of the day. Do a 5 minute hit
Hmm.
workout on YouTube, something that gets the in the morning. I like to wake up in the morning with a morning routine, and that's a part of it. Is waking up in the morning, just 5 to 10 minutes of just just a good pump, get the blood flowing, because once that blood gets flowing and circulating through your brain, and you start really locking in, man, you can really generate some really good thoughts based on how you prepare your body. Reading and listening to podcasts and audiobooks. You're on our podcast, you're locking in with us right now. We're giving you guys a whole bunch of gems. Y'all may not take everything from what we're giving you guys, but at the end of the day, if you lock in and you take just one or two ideas out of this situation, then that's a win for you. You may only take two things from tonight, but those two things could very well be the very two things that create a complete shift in your finances. Number three, attend seminars and workshops. Get around people who know money. You know what I'm saying? Get around people who are willing to teach you, who are willing to give information. Or guess what? They may not be willing to teach you. And then after that, what will you do to still learn from them? I get around guys that right now, just because of based off of where my tax bracket or my net worth may be, they may not even say a word to me. You feel what I'm saying? Just because they're on a certain tax bracket to where they're like, look, in order to have conversation with me, you got to be in a certain place here with your net worth, because I'm on a certain frequency and I need you to be frequent at what I'm talking about. You
Right.
feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I may not be able to have conversation with them, but I'm very well paying attention. Me and my daughter we had breakfast at Ram's Horn, and I paid attention to the room. I paid attention to the room, and I seen one guy with a suit on. It was real clean. Everything was real intact. And I'm sitting with my daughter, and we just having conversation. We're having a good time. I'm giving my baby all my attention, but I just happen to always pay attention to him and what he's doing. And at the end of the day, he wasn't really paying me no attention. He wasn't really like kind of like it wasn't like he wasn't paying attention to me. But I was paying attention to him because I seen a certain amount of detail. You can already tell by the way people carry themselves and by the way they're moving around. So that's why it's important to always, hey, like Dion said, you look good, you feel good, you play good. Man, off the rip, I noticed something about him was different from everybody else in the store. And then after I heard him talking on
Mhm.
the phone, I heard him talking about the fact that he's been vice president of a company and president of a company. So 9 times out of 10, he's generated at least six figures to seven figures in someone else's business. Then I heard him always talking about risk management. And I heard him always talking about how the real key to finances is understanding where you control your risk. So like you were talking about earlier, is really understanding what risk is and understanding where you're risking your funds by the decisions you're making. Where are you creating risk in your finances? You feel what I'm saying? So I got a chance to really learn from him just based off of how he moved. So going to those seminars and workshops, you may not always be able to talk to somebody. They may not talk to you. Like I said, I don't know who Elon Musk is as a person. I don't know who Donald Trump is as a person, but I know they understand propaganda. I know they understand generating funds. I know y'all get pissed off at them, but they still find a way to get rich. So that means they understand money in a way you don't understand it. So don't pay attention to what they're saying. Stop being emotional and paying attention to what they're doing. Okay.
Facts.
Um, Number four, keep gratefulness in your journey. Keep gratefulness in your journey and create a grateful journal. I started this a while ago. Um, I can't lie to y'all. I haven't been all the way consistent at it, and I need to jump right back on and get very, very, very consistent at it, because being grateful and just mesmerizing yourself and meditating in the mindset of what God has already given you will kind of give you an idea of what He's got coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Um, that I think that's really important. And then meditate, create. Number one, box breathing. Okay, box breathing. And I'll give you guys a quick detail with box breathing. Box breathing is big deep breaths in through your nose for about 4 to 5 seconds, and then holding for 4 to 5 seconds, and then breathing out for 4 to 5 seconds. And what that does is reset your emotional pattern. So if you are like mad about something, or if you feel like your brain is scattered, if you're somebody that does a lot during the day, you can literally box breathe. It'll reset your whole emotional pattern, and then you in your nervous system, and then you can start really generating more great thoughts again. You can start calming yourself down and being able to make great decisions, and just work within a flow. And then spend more on experiences and less on material. I think that's key. And the reason spending more on experiences and less on material is important, I think, is because the experiences and the exposure that you have is very well linked to what you do. Um, I mean, it's very well linked to what you do. And yes, getting in tune with your body is very important. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Um, but just overall, like just really locking in on, your focuses and and like what you're doing as far as what your experiences takes a big range of what you are focused on. You know what I'm saying? Like if all I focus on is buying material, and I never get a chance to be exposed to anything, then I never get a chance to really grow. Exposure is growth at the end of the day. When we moved out here, I went to Groves High School. It's on 13 Mile Evergreen. I ain't never been around that many white folks in my life. As far as what I'm saying, as far as school is concerned, I did like a long time ago. My mom sent me to a predominantly what do you call it PWI type PWI you know what I'm saying, which there's no problem with that, but it wasn't what I was used to. But while being at Groves High School, a lot of my homeboys, they was used to certain things. They were used to certain luxuries. They were used to certain mindsets. These guys was already talking about trade in the stock market. They were talking about each kid investing $5,000 and getting a vacation house and renting it in the summertime. Like
Wow.
their minds were on something completely different. So because I was being exposed to those things, even though I had never been exposed to them, I started to create interest in some of those things because I'm like, dang, my friends got. How do you even have access to $5,000?
They
Like, you know
say
what I'm
the
saying? Like, what?
mind, once expanded, never contracts.
Come on, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So creating that through your experiences, you will create exposure. So create those big time experiences because then you'll be able to get some exposure. And last thing I want to leave y'all with for these steps is it's your attitude more than your aptitude that determines your altitude. Once again, it's your attitude more than your aptitude that determines your altitude. And I think that that's so huge because the way you think about things is the power. That's the power within. That's the power within the growth. Like, how many times do we hear the glass is half full or the glass is half empty? You feel what I'm saying? Now, you can look at the glass half full or you can look at it half empty. And then because we're always talking about finance, if I'm looking at it half full, then I'm looking at the point that I have another half to be able to sell. You feel what I'm saying? So, but
Yup.
if we're thinking that the glass is half empty, then what are we thinking? We're thinking that we got to hold on to that other half of the water because we're afraid that if we sell it, we won't have it anymore. Instead of thinking that because I have this half a glass of water, I can sell it for $3 and then I can buy two more glasses and then I can keep cutting all of those glasses in half and then I have more halves to sell. You feel what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So your
Come
attitude
on now.
definitely, you know what I'm saying? Your attitude definitely takes you as far as you want it to go, man.
And just like I say, the attitude is everything.
You hear me? We've been saying that for so long, brother.
You feel me?
But
That
yeah,
was
man. We
great, bro.
yeah, man. We got a few things we just want to finish off with you guys. Man, we really put some time into, putting together this podcast. And like we said, man, this is a natural podcast. This isn't like something that we just want to be overly scripted for you guys. This is something that we want natural. We want our true raw details, our true raw, I got scratch outs, I got everything
Facts.
here. You know what I'm saying? I could have typed it up and put it in presentation form, man. But the way I wrote it, the way I scribble, the way I lock in, like those are the small intricate details to where my brain continues to grow and it continues to expand. So it's good that, we keep it natural so that, we're able to expand with you guys and we're able to just grow with you guys, man.
And mind you, I want y'all to know we had this conversation last week, Monday at 9. And
Seriously.
after that conversation, we was like, you know what? We're gonna start next week, Monday at
Seriously.
9. We're gonna
Seriously.
start with what we got.
Yes,
And we're
sir.
gonna continue to build from there.
Yes,
And that's what
sir.
got us here. Hey man, we're gonna go to the would you rather. So We're gonna do a
Yeah.
fun part, you know what I'm saying? And y'all can answer too now. So we can go with the would you rather's. We want to talk about would you rather financial situations to see what would you rather do. All right, now let's see here. I can start with one. So let's go with would you rather be James Harden and make $300 million in your NBA career,
Hmm.
zero rings.
Hmm.
Shout out to him. Or would you rather
Ouch.
be Robert Horry, who made like I think 120 million or like 90 million over his career, five rings, hundreds of millions with zero rings, or five rings with tens of millions.
So, so this is the thing. So this is crazy. So the reason I like this question is because I'm a ex athlete, and there's a certain mindset behind being an athlete, and then there's a certain mindset behind being a businessman. So for me as an athlete, I don't mind being Robert Horry because at the end of the day, all my sweat equity is to prove, or not to prove, but to win championships. You know what I'm saying? What you sign up for when you play a sport is to win championships. You know what I'm saying? To be a winner, to implement and play your role and be great at your role and win championships. And what championship shows is that each person on the floor executed their role great enough to be able to win a championship. Okay. But as a businessman, going James Harden. You feel what I'm saying? Because as a businessman, at the end of the day, what do I want to do? I want to utilize this platform to milk as much money as possible so that I can do whatever it is I want to do outside this game. Because at the end of the day, guess what? Those people that run the NBA, they're not your friends at the end of the day. So if you don't generate as much income as you do, there's always another James Harden coming. And the minute you roll that little ankle, there'll be another James Harden coming through the door. And now everything you were working for to get that championship doesn't really matter because guess what? It's all about the money. That's
So
all
you
this
gotta
stuff
milk
is.
it.
I mean, let's think. That's it. So milk it. If you think it from a business standpoint, if you're approaching sports as in I want to take care of my family and I want to create generational wealth for years to come, then I'm James Harden. You feel what I'm saying? I'm scoring 50 a game. You feel what I'm saying? I'm getting all the sponsorships because he probably getting 300 million from the NBA and from his franchise. But then he's probably, because he's a $300 million basketball player. Guess what? When you generate $300 million from playing basketball, everybody wants you to represent their brand, okay? Because
Right.
you're somebody that's won it. That $300 million that you generate just off of your talents of playing basketball shows all these companies that want you to represent their company that you are somebody that everybody wants, and not everybody has the talent that you have. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus how many times did you hear someone say, I'm getting ready to buy a product that says Robert Oreo?
True.
Not very
True.
often.
Even though he should have more notoriety because he has
Bro,
more rings.
bro. But ain't that crazy? So it's like, that's why I say it's so that's why I say it's so
Wow.
important to really understand how you look at things. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you look at things. Do you want sports to be a means of you taking care of your family, or do you want to be a great ball player? I put my all on the line for the sport of football, not necessarily for the building of my income. And then I also found out about that after football was over, which is why we're doing this podcast, because I'm passionate to show people what, you know what I'm saying, what income turns into, or what happens when you focus on your income and when you focus on your future more than you focus on just the right now.
That's big. That's big.
How
And that was a
about you,
great answer
bro?
to
What
that
you
question.
thinking?
Hey, no, I want one from you. I want your would you rather. You got one,
Okay,
brother?
perfect, perfect, perfect. So my would you rather? Man, this is great, man, and I love this one because hell, I kind of want some advice on this one, because I'm kind of misconstrued right now. Would you rather invest in a $10,000 franchise from say a Steak and Shake or a Wing Stop or whatever the case may be. A lot of those businesses usually cost $10,000 just to start the franchise. Would you rather have a franchise, or would you rather have an investment property that you have growing in equity, you getting residual income from, and it's also the money is in the bricks, so then you can sell that house once the value of the crib goes up from 110 to 160, 170, you can take that equity out and get another crib. You know what I'm saying? But what would you rather?
Hmm.
Because
10K franchise
that other one could
or
start right now.
10,000 on the property. Well, if I do 10,000 on the franchise, sometimes there's a waiting list, especially with those franchises.
Hmm.
There will be training, there will be other people that I will have to hire, there will be more expenses. Um, there will be more rules as well with joining someone else's name and
Yeah,
running their namesake.
yeah.
Um, Even though I do look forward to owning a franchise, I personally will put that $10,000 into an investment property, and this is why. Um, it's directly mine, the land and everything. The business
Mhm.
will be directly mine.
Yep.
I choose how much goes into it as far as how much is invested into it. And honestly, I control however much is made from that property versus my franchise. It has a fixed ceiling of what it can make, give or take the marketing and the clientele that comes in from the different times of the year and what's going on.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to your place in real estate, you can always do things to make more money from it, and also the market will grow it to where it's just going to end up being worth more over time. And some your child really just can't walk into your franchise and do whatever they want to, but when
Facts.
it comes to your property, I mean, they pretty much can.
They
So
can
yeah,
do
for
whatever they
me
want to.
it'll be the property.
And so this the
Yeah.
thing, and I wish I would have said this before. I wish I would have said this before you answered too, because with a lot of these franchises, when you do the information and when you fill out the information, because I've done it before. I've been a part of this situation
Hmm.
before. They'll tell you like, yes, you've got a guaranteed estimated revenue of $900,000 a year. So let's say you buy I don't know McDonald's. Now McDonald's I believe costs somewhere around 1.8 for a franchise.
Right.
But
Yeah, yeah, it's a
you know
little
what
bit
I'm
more
saying? Not,
pricey.
let's not get it twisted. But they're gonna tell you off the rip, like, yeah, you're gonna invest this, but we're guaranteeing you if you invest this and you have this much money, because also in the fine details, they usually tell you that you have to have a certain amount of money liquid that you can put into the company, because if you don't have
Wow.
30, if you don't have 300,000, 400,000, $500,000 liquid for you to be able to spend on the company, that was always the underlying factor. So they always would post like on Instagram, or they would post on like Facebook, if you, especially during those pandemic times where it was so much money flowing around, and they was like,
Hmm.
hey, y'all can, get you a franchise for $10,000 for Chicken Shack. You feel what I'm saying? And then you end up realizing that, damn, I gotta have a certain amount of money in order to make this be efficient, because like you said, we gotta pay people, we gotta make sure that it's in the right location, we gotta make sure that we're marketing property, that we've paid the right marketing people. Will the people that we pay for marketing actually do what we ask them to do? You know what I'm saying? Because you
It's a
might pay
lot more
somebody.
money going out, bro. You gotta buy food every day.
Man, it's a crazy thing. But like you said, with that investment property, just a few ways we said we could make money is: number one, you could get the equity out the house, you could get residual income off the monthly rent, or you could throw that joint on Airbnb and make money on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? So
Come
there's
on
so
now.
many different things that you could do with that one investment property while paying, something little, like you, because really, you, let's be real, you can use some type of grant or loan or whatever the case may be. Or guess what, once you start building up your money through your money cycles, you can take 10,000 from your stock market equity, and you can go on and grab that investment property. You feel what I'm saying? And do
Hmm.
what you need to do, and then you can create and generate this type of income coming through.
Hmm. Phenomenal.
Man,
Phenomenal. Would you rather?
Man,
Phenomenal would you rather. Now
swear.
we're going to transition from our would you rather's to our money minutes. Now, for the
Yes,
money
sir.
minutes, we want to talk to you about the condition of money in the world, the condition of the economy, give you some game on what's going on currently right now. Now, personally, I'm about to talk to you about something that I've noticed that's been going on right now. Ever since the pandemic happened in 2020, the market was banging then because everything had collapsed, but then it started to go up. So everybody started to ride that high. Everybody was seeing some gains and stuff like that. But over the past year or so, maybe year and a half, it has cooled down tremendously. It's
Decline.
really cool now to see on my phone, having Yahoo Finances, 52-week high this company, 52-week high that company, 52-week high this company. Everything is starting to boost back up. Now, before this was happening, like a few months ago, like 3 months ago, I'm like, man, like, ain't nobody really talking about stocks. Ain't nobody really talking about investing. Like, that was such a hot topic. It was such a hot topic for everybody to talk about stocks.
Yeah.
Everybody was an expert. Everybody knew what they was doing. Everybody was making bread. But what
Hey,
about when shit
the
wasn't really popping?
Forex joint, that
You
was a
feel me?
wave.
You feel me? Like, but people that make money in the market, they make money whether it's going up or down because that's what you can really do, make money whether it's up or down.
Because you
But yeah, I
understand
was telling myself, like, man, something about to pop off. Next thing you know, 52-week highs left and right. So yeah, things are starting to turn up. The market is looking a little bit more bullish. Everybody's starting to turn in their reports and their earnings and stuff like that. So people feeling more comfortable with investing now. So
yeah.
that's my report, and that's what I have seen. One other thing too, Kim Kardashian, the creator of Skims, she has now raised another about $289 million in funding for her company. With that being said, she got a reevaluation of the company and it's now worth $4 billion. She's looking soon to do another round of funding so she can IPO.
Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy. Oh man, I love that one, man, because I got a little something with that that kind of piggybacks off that same mindset, man. And you talked about Kim Kardashian, and get this. So Lyft offered Beyonce $6 million to represent their company, right? So she said, never mind the $6 million, pay me in equity. So that $6 million that she asked for them to, that $6 million that she they said that they would pay her just off of the strength of being a forefront of their company. She took it in equity, and 4 years later, once they took it out of the market, it was worth $200 million.
Yes,
So
sir.
understanding that you can either take the $6 million and let that 6 million sit right there and wait for it to be spent, or you can say, you know what, I want that in equity. Put equity. Put that $6 million into your company. Build your company. Be great in your company, which is the stock market. Be great in your company, and then come back to me with the growth. And because she invested what she invested, now once the growth of the company came out, your equity is bigger. The more you invest, the bigger the equity. So she allowed herself to make 95,000 times more what
Wow.
she really could have got. I mean, what she would have gotten just off of the fact that she understood that this is how money works. Connected to an asset, connected to something that's in growth. She knew that the 6 million that she would
She
invest,
didn't want her 6 million in notes. She didn't want the
she didn't want it
notes.
in notes.
She wanted
She
in the
wanted the real
asset.
money. That's the thing. That's what we've been trying to explain, is
But she
that
ended up getting
the
more notes
notes.
just for telling them to keep the notes.
Come on, bro. Come on. When your mindset towards money changes, then you understand that not only can you have the asset, which is the real money, because if we understand net worth, we understand that our net worth is just how much our assets are combined. Okay. So when you hear such and such as net worth is this and such as net worth is that, it's all based on all of the assets that they have available, and then mashing it together and saying this is how much all these assets are worth. So that's not accounting for the money that they got in they safe. That's not accounting for the money that they probably, you know what I'm saying, just got stashed somewhere else that you don't know about. What assets do they have? What are the assets worth? And that's what your net worth is. So understanding that
Wow.
will give you a true understanding of you, your net worth, your money, and what you focus on.
Hey man, I think we can end it there, man, with that, because
Yes, sir.
tonight for the first episode, Financial Literacy 101, it's been absolutely phenomenal for our financial awakening, man. You know,
No
we
doubt.
financially awakened from where we were, to where we are now. We are continually to awaken financially with more and more ideas, ideals, and philosophies. And we want to do the same thing for you guys and help you to financially awaken as well. Become more solid and solidified in the income that you're making. We want to take you from making $0, $18,000 a year, $20,000 a year, $100,000 wherever you are. We want to take you where you are. We want to take you further. Every week we will be coming to you guys Monday at 9 o'clock, talking to you about different ideals financially, giving you more financial literacy, giving you more financial ideas from our perspective, because it's not many people talking about these things that look like us, you know. So it's very important for guys that look like us to have these conversations.
Yeah,
Bring your
yeah.
friends in, invite them, like this video, share this video. We appreciate your comments, we appreciate your love, and we appreciate you staying with us all this time. It's been beautiful. Quan,
Man,
it's been amazing
man.
working with you, doing this first episode with you, man.
Likewise, brother.
I'm so excited to be working with you, and I'm happy to be doing this with you, bro. For real, for real. You brought the heat, my man.
Hey, likewise, brother. You as well, man. I tell you one thing. It's a great thing to be around the right people, man. One of the main things that we talk about, and one of the main things that you learn from anybody is, man, who you are, who you hang around, man. And I'm around.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm surrounding myself around only winners, people who are focused on growth, who are focused on giving back to our community. That's our main thing. We don't claim to be the best financial gurus or anything like that. This is just to create the conversation in our communities. This is to bring awareness to our communities, and make you guys understand that, look, we can have conversations about how to generate money. And it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be illegal. We are more than just, you know what I'm saying, what they think that we supposed to be. We can generate money from our minds. It's all this is all about our minds. It's all about, like I said, you don't have to take every single idea that we come with from this podcast, man. But man, you can take notes on the podcast and just take one or two different details, just a simple barter system product. And then now you and your family create a barter so that you guys don't have to keep going to all these different stores and places to get stuff, but rather all of my aunties and uncles can start. One auntie and uncle is growing the vegetables, and one auntie and uncle is, you know what I'm saying, providing the household items, and one auntie and uncle and you guys are just trading, and y'all understand what y'all's roles are. That's the championship that we was talking about with Robert Ory. You feel what I'm saying? Understanding what your roles are and dominating and being great at your role so that y'all can overall win a championship. And that championship is financial freedom and generational wealth. And I hope that when we think about generational wealth, we think about a long lasting pattern. You feel what I'm saying? This is
Yes,
not
sir.
something that we're not trying to get rich. I mean, we are trying to get rich overnight. Let's not just say anything. Okay.
And we can.
If we
It's
can, we're
possible.
gonna get rich. You absolutely. We're gonna get rich overnight. We're gonna take not any opportunity, but we're gonna take the right calculated risk management decision to become rich overnight. So yeah, man, hey, it's been a pleasure working with you, brother, and just getting a chance to give this value that we knew we would bring, man. This true organic value. And man, this was nothing but fun, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, man. But just make sure y'all follow behind us. We're gonna be dropping, follow our new page, our new Instagram page, okay? It's Our Financial Awakening on Instagram. And on that, we'll be giving you guys different formulas, man. I'll be giving you guys stuff from my financial advisor that I've learned, different charts and stuff that you guys will be able to use as far as budgeting is concerned, and different mindsets behind budgeting. And we're gonna bring some people on here. Man, we got some really good guests that I've already talked to, that over some time, after we give you guys a solid foundation of finance, then we're gonna bring on some people who are getting it done in the business world, who are either my clients from a training aspect, or just great friends of mine, and then we're just going to talk about, how they approach the financial situation, and we're going to get deeper into who we are as people, so that we can give you guys the true understanding of why we care about the finance and money so much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of weird, especially in this day and time, like you said, bro. It was so many people who were just coming out of the blue trying to teach finance and trying to do everything. Everybody's like, oh, everybody doesn't want to believe anybody, because it's like everybody just coming out of nowhere talking about finance. But that's a
Mm-hmm.
great thing, because at the end of the day, the true importance is the conversation. Because once we spark the interest with the conversation, then we can start taking action. But you can't, like we said earlier, you can't get anything without the exposure first. Okay. So we're here to
Facts.
expose you guys, teach you guys, have a great time with you guys, man, and just continue growing as people in our finances, but also within self. You know what I'm saying? We'll be keeping you guys updated on self. Sometimes we're gonna come on here, man. We might have a therapist come on here and give y'all 10 tools towards becoming more peaceful, so that you can make the right decisions with business. I couldn't make any great decisions until I started getting better with, I couldn't make any great decisions with my finances until I started becoming better mentally. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna provide all opportunities for you guys to grow. Stay tuned. All types of stuff coming, man. Can't wait.
Let's go. Hey, I hope you all have a good night. And this is our financial
Financial
awakening.
awakening.
Let's get it.